everyone, this is Coach Mike Rogers. Well, as everyone knows, the pandemic threw a monkey wrench in a lot of plans that we had, along with everyone else. But our banquet was postponed due to the pandemic and the COVID-19 situation. No way did I imagine this continuing to go as long as it has. Our plan was to bring everyone back and do some type of banquet or award ceremony the night before F&M Open in January, but it looks like that may not even happen, unfortunately. So we didn't want to go too much longer without recognizing the guys that what they did accomplish last year in 2019-20 season, and their efforts in normally we give this out at the banquet, but we're gonna have to do it virtually, and also want to recognize our seniors that graduated as well. But hopefully this is the best substitute we can. We're gonna do this all virtually. It's a video, so you guys can rewatch it anytime you like and send it out and to our alumni, family, friends. I hope everyone's staying safe out there. And thanks, and here's our award winners. The first award we want to give out for the 2019-20 season last year is the Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year goes to Ethan Seeley. It's tough as a freshman to step into a college lineup at the Division I level, but especially tough to do it at an upper weight at 197. Ethan was kind of thrown in the mix against some really good competition. On that transition from high school to college is not an easy transition, and doing it at an upper weight as well. So I think he showed a lot of courage, a lot of improvement, and even though he took some lumps, he kept coming back every time, and that's what we look for, just that grittiness, that toughness, and it's great to see that as a young guy that's going to be here for the next 3 years at an upper weight. So Ethan Seeley, congratulations, Rookie of the Year. Our next award, the Most Improved, goes to the person that we see as a coaching staff that made the biggest jump from one season to the next. And this award goes to Christian Daly. We just seen a tremendous improvement from last year to this year, and just his ability to score a lot of points quickly. We're still looking for big things from him, but I think he's just started to figure out his groove, kind of his techniques that works well for him. And when he was wrestling with confidence, he was right there with some of the best guys. So the Most Improved is Christian Daly. Our next award is an academic award, and this actually goes to someone that graduated in the spring, Emmett LeCastry. Emmett LeCastry was an EIWA academic All-American, and that's a combination of wins, record, competition, competing at the conference, and academic GPA. The academic award goes to Emmett LeCastry. Our next award is the Coaches Award. This award goes to the person that we feel as a coaching staff kind of was a well-rounded person, not only as an athlete on and off the wrestling mat, in the wrestling room, in competition. And the Coaches Award goes to Vincenzo Pelusi. It's nice to have another Pelusi in our lineup. Vincenzo's doing a great job of kind of stepping in there as a team leader, kind of. His attitude is awesome. That's the big thing, I think, for the Coaches Award for us, is not always the result, but the attitude that person brings to the program, in and out of the wrestling room, and in the classroom as well. So, Vincenzo, congratulations, Coaches Award. Our next award is named after Coach Charlie Mazer, the OW Award. Again, the person that probably achieves the most highest success in our program in one given year. And this one will go to Will Gill. I think Will was right there in and out of the rankings in the conference, was knocked off the #1 seed at our conference, was right there to make the NCAA tournament that eventually never happened, but I think he would have been a great qualifier, and I think we're looking at great things for Will and going forward. But Charlie Mazur's OW award goes to Will Gill. And lastly, we want to recognize our seniors that graduated in 2020 last year. Awesome group of guys that worked extremely hard, that had to deal with a lot of transition from ending their season and started of a pandemic that went on for a lot longer than anyone anticipated. And not only that, having to find jobs and navigating graduating from college and then transitioning into a job or to grad school. But all our guys have made a great transition to where they're at. I think that shows a lot of their toughness and their just work ethic and being gritty and tough. And that part of that's just going through a Division I program, competing at our level, and the training that we do, I think, prepares them for life. So, like I said before, we wanted to hopefully have these seniors back in January before the F&M Open and do a in-person ceremony for these guys. But best we can do right now is send out this video to them. But open invitation, hopefully we can get together in person and bring these guys back and recognize them properly. But good luck to our seniors out there that graduated and in your future careers in grad school. You're always a part of the F&M family, and welcome back anytime.
Hey guys, I know this is a little weird doing this virtually, and I wish we were all together. But given the circumstances, kudos to Coach Rogers and the rest of the coaching staff for still keeping all the alumni and all of our team connected as much as they can. So kudos to them. But I mean, if this was the actual banquet, I guess this is a similar speech I'd be giving. Coaching staff, thank you guys for everything you've done for me and for the team as a whole. Rogers, Borgia, Dippery, and then even going back to Herbert, when we had Coach Moldoff, he used to help me a lot. So thanks to those guys. Also want to thank Dr. Carl Becker for fixing me up the 25 times that he did, and I'm sure he'll do in the future. So thanks, Dr. Becker. Also want to thank Josh Feldman and Ian Steckel for all the work they've done with Beat the Streets and the magnitude of help that's had for me and the rest of the team. So thank you to you guys. But a message from me, really, and to the guys still on the team. I'm sure you hear this every year, but your 4 years flies at F&M, and I think about it every day. I wish I could go back, and I'm itching to get on the mat again. I mean, especially with this whole the whole coronavirus thing going on. Everybody I know wants to get back on the mat, but especially me being graduated and stuff, like you'll never stop to have that urge to compete. I still have it every day. I have like those nightmares where I'm going back and competing and stuff. So take advantage of the time you have in the room. I know it sucks waking up early, going to lift, and the grind of the the wrestling room every day, but you will miss it when you're gone. I promise. I miss it every day, and as soon as things open up, you better believe I'll be in that room helping out. But yeah, that's all I really had for you guys. Wish you all are well. I wish we could all be together. Thanks, guys, for everything.
Hey guys, because we couldn't have our banquet, Coach asked us to share some words with you guys about our time after we graduated. So if there's one thing that I could say to you guys, it would be find something that will motivate you. Find your why that will keep you going no matter what. So for me, I got my ass kicked more times than I can count in that room every single year by all of you guys. There would be weeks where I would physically and mentally break every single day, but I had a why that kept me going and kept me pushing through every single day and every single time that happened. For me, my why was essentially, I was convinced that if I gave up on my dream of being a Division I wrestler, and if I quit the team and quit wrestling, I would think of myself as a failure and a quitter for the rest of my life. So basically, quitting was not an option. Like, I was convinced in my heart, at the very bottom of my heart, that if I quit, that I'd forever be a failure and never be able to overcome anything. So for me, no matter how many times I got my ass kicked in the room, no matter how many times I got my ass kicked cutting weight, no matter how many times I got my ass kicked in competition, I would always want to keep coming back for more because I wanted to prove that I belonged in the room and to prove to myself that I can overcome any obstacle. So for me, that was my why that kept me going, even on my darkest days at my lowest moments. There was nothing that could prevent me from achieving my goals and my dreams with a why like that. So I don't know what it'll take for you guys to find a why like that. It might not be as drastic as thinking that if you quit, you'll be a failure for the rest of your life. That's just how it was for me and what worked for me. But seriously, think deep down about yourself, your goals, and your aspirations, both on the team, in the room, and in life, and find that why. If you do that, you will be a success and you will be able to live with yourself afterwards. I hope you have guys are having a great time and have a good season. See ya.
What's going on, everyone? I hope you all are feeling dangerous, or at least getting there. As I reflect back on my experience with F&M wrestling, I do so with tremendous gratitude and some sadness. Gratitude for how awesome of an experience it was, sadness because it's over. So with that gratitude, I'd like to thank the coaches for all their dedication and commitment to the program. I remember when Coach Rogers got 2 surgeries done on the same day, and then was back in the practice room just a few days later. And I couldn't help but think to myself, "Man, this dude is crazy." And at the same time, man, Coach must really care about this team and about us. Um, and that wasn't really an anomaly, either for Coach Rogers or for the other coaches. You could always find Coach Borgia or Coach Dippery spending time outside practice, working with guys on technique or, driving to grocery stores to buy us weigh-in food or even meeting with recruits and things like that. So you could tell they really cared about what they were doing. That's something I just want to say thank you for. So to the wrestlers listening to this, thank you for being such awesome teammates. It's been such a blessing to be able to go through the grind together, and just being able to mature and develop alongside you guys has just been an amazing privilege. Here are 3 pieces of advice that I want to pass on to you guys. The first is to compartmentalize your life, right? So when you're wrestling, focus on wrestling and nothing else. If it's schoolwork, do your work and get rid of all the unnecessary distractions like your phone and everything, right? Just focus on what you're doing at that time, right? So if you do this right, you'll do things a lot more efficiently, and you can actually eliminate a lot of stress because you're not trying to think about everything and do everything all at once. So the second thing, right, is to focus on what you do and not on what happens to you. So as this whole pandemic has made pretty clear, right, there are a million things that are outside of our control, right? Worrying about these things is not going to affect them in the slightest, right? I remember last year when I injured my knee, right, and I got like 4 different opinions from doctors, about, whether I would need surgery or whether I wouldn't, right? And I just spent hours trying to learn how to read my knee MRIs and things like that, just to see if I could, know for sure if I was going to have a season or not. Um, and apart from discovering a potential interest in sports medicine, so I guess there's that. It was pretty much just a waste of time and energy that I could have and should have been putting into other things. And at the end of the day, thankfully, I was able to get back on the mats and finish the season. But worrying about it didn't really change that or make that happen, right? So it was just sort of a waste and something I wish I wouldn't have done. So don't make the same mistakes I made, right? Pray and don't worry. It's my advice, right? You may not always end up in the situation that you want, but you can always control how you respond to the situation, which is really what matters in the end. And the last thing, right? Don't be afraid to ask for help. I personally took a lot of pride in my own independence, right? To the point where I wouldn't even ask people for things that I really needed help with, whether it was school or wrestling or faith or whatever. I was always afraid of just sort of like looking weak, or I felt like I was somehow less of a man if I had to ask other people for things. But I think I'm starting to realize as I mature a little bit that humility is a strength, it's not a weakness. Um, and by asking for help, you're not necessarily hiding from your responsibilities. If there's a change you really need to make, but you're having a really hard time doing it, right? It's your responsibility to get help with that, right? And to make sure you find someone who can help you get there, right? You got to make sure you keep putting in the effort yourself, right? It's not on them to do it, right? But it doesn't mean that you're escaping or trying to avoid your responsibilities. Wrestling is an amazing sport, guys. No matter what your season looks like, that's never going to change, right? So I encourage you all, make the most of it, and I wish you guys the best.
Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well and staying healthy. I miss you all on the team and the coaches. I know it's been tough not being able to wrestle or practice or even compete recently, but you'll get back in the room soon enough, and I'm sure I'll be stopping by soon also to club a few of you around and get back and roll on the mats with you. But I just want to say how grateful I am for the 4 years that I had at F&M, especially because of the relationships that I built with so many of you. I know they're going to last a lifetime, and they really just mean the world to me. But some advice that I want to give some of you guys, especially you younger guys that are just starting out, maybe your freshman or sophomore year. The first thing would just be to take advantage of the resources that F&M has to offer. There's so many opportunities that can come from our school, and just the networking and connections that you have at your fingertips, really. Definitely just be proactive and look to make those moves and connections that are going to set you up for your future. And then the second thing I would say is just, really to push yourself outside your comfort zone, whether it's on the mat or in the classroom. Bite off more than you can chew. Make yourself comfortable being uncomfortable, because, the harder you push yourself and the harder you work, the easier things are going to be on the back end, and the more success you're going to have. I can say that for certain. I didn't think of it in life after college terms, but it's true in every aspect of life. So the sooner you learn that and start instilling it in your daily habits, the better. But I wish everyone the best again, and I miss you guys, and I look forward to seeing your success in the future. Roll Dips.